So there's a new way of thinking about nyama and breakfast and having those things that we have for breakfast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for very many years, we have known Kenchic, right? For people who are
Cuckoo.
about
Chicken.
Okay, now they've moved. They've also said now moo comes in. They've also just listened and they've said, something else, bana. People also like beef. And we know 75,000 things about meat in general. So how about we sort out the people who also would like to have a taste of beef and various differentiated beef products. And that's why Kenchic has launched Kenbeef. Okay? It's the ultimate game changer for beef products and the enthusiasts. Arnold Mwagodi is a brand manager at Kenchic. He's our guest for the next hour. Arnold, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the hot seat of Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you.
As hot as what?
As they come.
Hey, Sawa.
Okay.
So you'll tell us more about Kenbeef by Kenchic. All right. Where this journey started. I mean, what brought up this crazy idea of we've been dealing with chicken. Now let's also deal with beef. And we call it Kenbeef. Okay?
Okay.
But to welcome you to the conversation, CT has the day's proverb. Every week he goes to an African country. He mines proverbs. Then he'll give you a proverb a day. Today, this week, CT, the proverbs are from?
The Republic of Gambia, the Gambia.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you start with the Republic, do you still say the Gambia?
That's what I'm going to say, but I'm just going to the Republic of Gambia.
Okay.
Leave it at that.
Okay.
It comes the Gambia another time, but for now it's the Republic of
Gambia.
Exactly. The proverb. By the way, the proverb is generalized. It doesn't. When I say you, I'm not referring to you. You're a guest. If I say you, I'm referring to the other two people here. Okay.
Wow.
Yes. All right. Never mind how ugly your nose is. So long as you can breathe through it.
Never mind how ugly your nose is, so long as you can breathe through it.
Yes.
Okay, Basi. Arnold, what do you think the Gambians are telling us?
I don't know whose nose they're talking about.
Clearly.
Yeah, but the proverb works. I mean, breathing is important. Yeah. If it doesn't breathe, then even if you have the most beautiful nose, it's nothing. Yeah.
What's the deeper meaning?
The deeper meaning, I think, is if you don't look at things at surface level, look a bit deeper. Yeah, look at the bigger purpose.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the meaning.
That's a good one. Senior City.
Rabisa.
Very good.
There's nothing to add to that. Yes.
Very well said. Arnold, give us the history of Kenchic.
Okay.
And then bring us to the day to today.
So Kenchic has been here for 40 years. We've been a household name all through back then. In fact, most people, if you ask them about Kenchic, they remember the Kenchic Inn. Back in the days, a lot of our parents used to go there. That's where they dated. That's where some of us came from. So we've been evolving as a company for the last 40 years. And as you mentioned, we're cuckoo about chicken. We've always been cuckoo about chicken. We've always been dedicated about the products we bring out to the market, and consumers have felt that. So consumers have trusted us for all these years. And now we spoke to them. They were like, okay, what if we give you more? What if we give you more than what you're getting? Then they were like, yeah, tupatie. So did a bit of research, and we realized there's a big potential in beef. So the same consumers that buy our chicken will buy our beef because they trust the brand. And that's where Kenbeef came from. So it's Kenbeef from Kenchic, it's beef from Kenchic, and it's beef from Kenya, the best beef you can get.
What does this mean? You know, when you know Kenchic, so we know Kenchic from those Kenchic Inns, previous Kenchic Inns. We know Kenchic from now supplying the restaurants after closing the Kenchic Inns and deciding you're going to supply the restaurants. But we also know Kenchic from where the hatcheries are. And knowing that this is a Kenchic farm, these are Kenchic farms, although they're not branded, but Kilometer, those big ones are in Kenchic.
Yeah.
Okay. When you say you're going to beef, what are you saying? Because in the chicken value chain, you are playing from end to end.
Okay.
From egg to hatchery to the chicks, all the way to the cuckoo and the grill.
Yeah.
What do you mean now when you say Kenbeef? In what part of the value chain are you going to be playing?
Okay, so we've partnered with local farmers in Laikipia. So, of course, we oversee all the operations. We offer some guidance, some support. and then that's where our cows come from, or the beef comes from. So imagine yourself, in Laikipia, you're a cow, you're just walking around,
You're
enjoying
just
green
grazing.
grass, interacting with wild animals. Hakuna mtu anakusumbua.
Grass fed.
Yes, grass fed, yeah, because that's where the best meat comes from. Yes.
And then now, so you've signed up contracts with those farmers.
Yes.
Then the next thing, after you take what do? You tell them to slaughter, you get the meat, or you run now the slaughterhouses?
No, we get the meat that has been slaughtered. Of course, you oversee the whole process. I can't
Okay.
really say it's different entities, but it's more of the same process. So, of course, there's that supervision per se, all the way from the calves, how they are raised, what they eat, where they're growing, their conditions and all that. We oversee all that before, of course, we get the meat to us. So the same quality and standards that are there in chicken is the same quality and standard you'll find in our beef products.
Okay, so we're looking at a place whereby it's been the quality that has been assured to, folks over the longest period. And are we saying now, so what is coming through is that there is a different product, but the same quality, and what you could have expected is also coming through here?
Different products, of course, from beef from chicken to beef, but the same quality standard. So the same expertise, the same sort of production processes, the same processing processes, the same way, the same quality standards that are there in chicken are the same ones that are there in the beef processing. And of course, before we launched these products, we first understood what are the consumer needs and wants in terms of taste, in terms of flavor and all that, and that's what we're delivering to the consumers.
So what do we get in this new product line?
Okay. In terms of the products, so there are two types. So Kenbeef comes in two ways. The first one is prime beef, which is wet aged meat for 21 days. I know it's a bit different in Kenya, but it's wet aged so that it gives you that flavor, that softness, that versatility. So in case you're thinking of doing things like medium rare, medium raw, flambe, and all that, yeah. So we are bringing all that flavor to Kenya. And then there's the other side, which is the further processed products. So the further processed products are the sausages, the burgers, the burevos. We have other products like mekon, like beef mince. So it's a whole sort of table of offering for the Kenyan consumer. Yes.
Say that again. The further processed products include what?
Sausage, burger. There's burevos, or just boas as we call it in Kenya. There's beef mince, which is leaning in between. There's mekon, and then there's biltong.
Biltong?
Yes.
Explain.
Biltong is just meat that has been cured, dry cured, yes. Yeah, almost look like biscuits.
Jerky.
It's almost like beef jerky, almost the same process. Yes.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Okay. Prime beef, wet aged for 21 days. Please. Sisi ya mambo hatujui. Najua nyama inatoka kichinjio, inaingia kwa butchery, tunakula.
Yeah.
This wet aged 21 days, please explain what that is and why it's important.
Before we even talk about wet aging, you've mentioned something very important. You see, when you're going to the butchery, unasema staki ya mafuta, staki nyama ngumu, usineke mfupa. So we've done all that. So it's very lean meat, well sourced, grass fed. So let's start from there. And then it's wet aging. So there's dry aging and then there's wet aging. So with wet aging, there's no moisture loss. So it still retains that moisture at the end of it. So it's just a way of curing the beef, bringing in some bit of tender flavor, some bit of succulence. And that's where unaweza chukua steak and you just tear it off with your teeth. Yeah, so it's sort of just makes the beef better.
What's important
more
about
palatable.
aging?
Yes?
Why is aging important?
It's the sensory aspects that come out of it, yes. So it's a bit different from normal beef. It allows you to, because for most of us, when you're buying beef, you just boil it, you fry it. But now with wet aging allows you that versatility when it comes to beef products. So it's just tender, it's softer, it has a different texture and flavor, which is good. So for those consumers who like aged beef, they're definitely going to love Kenbeef. Yes.
When you say aging, what my imagination tells me, I'm sure is not the truth.
Okay.
It's not putting it in a corner and waiting for it to get old. No. There's a process, isn't it?
Yes.
What is this process?
So the meat is cut into different parts and then is put in vacuum bags. So it's sealed completely. Yes.
Okay.
Such that even when it's aging, it doesn't lose moisture. I mean, if you slaughter goat or chicken or goat or beef, then the next day it's not the same because there's that moisture loss. So with wet aging, it sort of like cures the meat, ages the meat, but it still retains that moisture. So it's aged in a vacuum bag.
So when you say meat is hard, what would you say is what makes it hard? Because this process seems you said makes it tender.
Okay.
So I'm taking the view that it was hard, and I'm not going to use my imagination. I'm going to let you help my imagination.
Yeah.
So you vacuum pack it and you give it time. So what happens to the meat that makes it tender?
So one, the meat is not necessarily hard. I mean, as much as the aging process tenderizes it a bit further. So the source of hard meat actually comes from the rearing. So if a cow is not eating grass, I mean, you've seen these cows walking around just eating everything.
Joala.
Joala, they're in a stressful condition. There's border guys, there's matatu guys. They're not living in the zen life like Kenbeef cows. So ours are in Nanyuki. They're just zen, enjoying the mountain, drinking the fresh water, enjoying the grass that is not touched by humans. So that's what makes beef tender. So if it's not raised well, it's not just even beef, even chicken. If the chicken is not raised well, it's not given good water, good food, it's not walking around, kanyagwa, there's Bosco there chasing after it. By the time you're slaughtering it, it won't be, that fresh, tasty, nutritious chicken.
This is very
interesting.
there with
Kenchic, yes.
Very interesting. So essentially what you're saying is that, I read this thing whereby the folks who are playing music to their cattle, and it actually matters in terms of, so really what you're putting in to the cattle before they then go for slaughter to then get these products that you talk about that you then turn into sausages or boerewors or burger patties, is that what you put into the cow and how you treat it before then matters when we're talking now about these Kenbeef products at the end of the day?
Yes.
Really?
It's actually science, yes. I've actually seen videos like that where guys even play guitars to their cows and they bring out higher quality, more milk. So the same with our chicken. In some, like in our layers, they're given even toys. So they're not bored. They walk around. It's the truth. Yeah, they walk around on a cheza. There's some bit of balancing of the lights. So that makes them happy. So when they wake up in chicken heaven or in beef heaven, they grow up very well. So the same way, I mean, all of us in Nairobi always say, I either want to go to Diani or I want to go to Nanyuki. I just want to breathe in the nature. The same way with animals. I mean, all of us are animals in our essence, in our very basic essence. So when an animal is raised in a very nice, soft life environment, of course, it's going to give you soft meat.
Soft life, soft meat.
Kukuza Kenchic zinapangwa toys.
Zinaboeka.
Haziboekagi.
Ziko na toys.
Toys. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So if there's wet drying, then there must be
Aging.
that one.
Wet
Yes.
aging.
So there must be dry aging.
Yes. So the same way, like now, one of the products like Bilton, it's a process of curing and dry aging. So it looks a bit tough. It's still soft, but it doesn't have that moisture that the other prime products have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you actually dried it using what exactly?
Wet aging.
Dry aging. That's what I'm referring to. If there's wet, there must be dry, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm asking about the dry. So essentially, you take the meat and just put it same pack it again.
Yeah. Okay. We don't really do, apart from maybe the Bilton that has a different curing process. The meat is wet aged. So our beef is not dry aged; it's wet aged. So just put in vacuum flask, a vacuum bag. Put in a certain temperature, and then after 21 days, it's ready to be packed.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about handling of meat, because that's one thing that people talk about. Handling nyama inatoka hapi naenda hapi. When many people buy nyama and you ask them, they'll tell you. And I consumed some bit of research on this meat.
Okay.
Many consumers will tell you that they prefer to buy nyama at the local butchery, and the person who makes the decision making on what's happening in the homestead is the woman. And then the house help who's sent. So if the woman is going, so you're thinking nearest, closest place to me, local butchery. And then the next thing is when you're thinking meat, you're thinking, I want it hanging. at the butchery.
Okay.
Nyama imetolewa pale, you have issues with it. And the next thing you're thinking is, I want it to look red. Because ikianza kukaa dark hivi ni kama inaanza kuoza. Please demystify all these things.
So
and the importance of knowing what is fresh meat.
Okay. The target audience for prime beef, it's a bit different from all of us. So as much as all of us want fresh, soft meat, they have sort of like more expectations from their meat. So one of the reasons why, of course, we go to the local butchery, because it's very easy to call someone and say, "Wewe usinike nyama mbaya." So there's that sort of like relationship that you have with your butcher, which probably will not be able to get it when you're buying it from a different place. So that explains maybe why local butcheries are known or are famous for that. And then there's that when you're seeing the steak like in its fullness, and then you're like nikati hapa usikati hapa. So there are those intricacies that you'll not find it everywhere else. However, for us, we have already foreseen that. That's why I've mentioned the beef is not cut. It's cut free from tendons, so that's the tough muscles, the tendons, the excess fat. So we already foresaw that, and by the time we are packing it and we're aging it, we sort of like understood what the consumers are looking forward to. In terms of color and all that, of course, when you age a beef, there's some slight difference in color, but the consumers of aged beef, they know that and they expect that because they know this was carefully or aged in the right way. Yes.
Actually, had some training by some veterinarian who was saying that when you see that meat starting to look like that, it's getting darker. That's when now it has the flavors, it has tendering and all.
Yes.
That if you slaughter nyama and you go ahead and start cooking it, beef specifically, before 6 hours are over, you're actually just eating muscle. You're not eating meat. And that's why it's important for you to let it stay so it starts, tenderizing, it starts getting the flavors in, it starts loosening up the muscle, it converts into meat, it becomes meat. So the importance is for all of us to start thinking about taking aged meat. And that's when you have now the better meat. This thing of saying ati nyama imechunjwa pale na sufuria ina boil pande ina maji. Ati just
maji chape.
Saa sita tunakula. You're not eating meat. It's important to let it hang, let it, cure and start all that. And the longer, the better, if it's handled well.
Yes.
Now, the issue of safety of the meat.
Yeah.
How important is it for Kenchic and Kenbeef now, in terms of how the meat is handled from the very beginning all the way to the butchery?
Okay. Because Kenbeef is part of Kenchic, so I'll just talk about Kenchic in general. So food safety is very big for us. If you don't handle meat the right way, it's going to bring up problems later. And one of the ways we employ that is biosecurity. So if you go to our farms, our birds don't interact with, other people. The same way with the cows, we get them from Nanyuki. They don't interact with people. They might interact with animals here and there, but there's that aspect of being raised right in clean environments, eating the right food, drinking the right water, and then once it's slaughtered, if you go to our processing plant in Thika, there are very, very high standards when it comes to processing meat. In fact, they have KPIs in terms of cleanliness and all that. So periodically, even guys go take swabs on the wall. They test the common areas. They make sure there are places to wash your hands, to sanitize and all that, so that nothing comes into contact with the food. And then once the processing has started, all the way from after slaughtering up to when you're actually buying the products at the either supermarket or something, there's that cold chain transfer distribution. So that means the trucks are chilled, the temperature is controlled when they get to the different outlets where consumers are going to buy. They're also tested. Like there's a very close monitoring system just to ensure that the products are treated, handled, and also distributed in a certain temperature, so that there are no sort of like threats to the quality of the meat.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you also check where how the quality of the standards maintained by the butchers?
Yes.
How do you do that?
We have extension services, and we have employees or colleagues who actually now go to those butchers. They oversee the processes, they do the testing that they need to do. So they also have KPIs and SLAs to ensure that what is expected is actually what is delivered to us and to our consumers.
Arnold Mwagodi is a brand manager at Kenchic. Kenchic has been in the country for 40 years now, and they have listened to the market and they've decided, all right, 40 years we understand very many things about chicken, but it's not chicken. We know very many things about meat and about our customers. And the customers have told them, all right, you can give us something else. All right, we've enjoyed chicken, we know chicken, we trust Kenchic, we trust the brand, so what else can you do? And they said, we are going beef. So Kenchic has partnered with many farmers in Laikipia, and you'll tell us whether you're also going to other farmers in other parts of the country, maybe part of their strategy going later. But currently farmers in Laikipia who are doing the rearing of their cattle, and then they slaughtered. It's taken through high quality checks. It is slaughtered in high quality environment. It's then packed, it's processed, and we have now sausage, we have minced beef, we have buravos, we have burger patties, we have got macon, all these now available in the market. Yep.
Yes.
So the fridge behind us here, behind Ndu, is written Kenchic and Kenbeef by Kenchic. Tukono beef, which is what we've come with, and the pictures of some of those things. Choice ni moja, taste ni noma. First of all, choice ni moja, taste ni noma. What does that mean?
Beef consumers, now that we're here, they only have one choice for their beef products. And if they choose Kenbeef, or they should choose Kenbeef, the taste ni noma. Taste ni wazimu, yeah. Yeah, so what you're telling them is choose Kenbeef, you only have one choice, and the taste is great. So your decision is easy to make.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So these products, they're available in the market. How do I tell that this is a Kenbeef product?
Okay, so they are currently available in all leading supermarkets in Kenya, and you can just tell from the look of it. It's in a black tray. There's a black sticker with a Kenbeef logo, which is red in color, and then there's by Kenchic. So there's Kenbeef by Kenchic, and then the actual product name, beef sausage, beef burger, with a very nice picture. So you'll just be able to spot it in the category because it's a very different branding, a whole different packaging altogether.
Okay.
Yes.
Looks similar to the Kenchic logo, actually, still.
Yes.
Just that now you removed the cuckoo inside there and you've put the cow.
The cow, yes.
And the cuckoo mfalme, you've removed the word cuckoo, you've retained the mfalme.
Mfalme, yes.
So the mfalme is still there. And then Kenbeef by Kenchic.
Yes.
So it's clear, even if you just don't know what Kenbeef is, then you'll see Kenbeef by Kenchic.
By Kenchic,
That's
yes.
what you see on the logo. Okay. How different is it? How different is the Kenbeef sausage from other beef sausages in the market?
Okay, it all starts with the sauce of the beef. As I'd mentioned it before, happy cows in Laikipia, living in a very happy life.
Zen life.
Zen life. Even if you look at the logo, the cow looks like wako in a spa or something. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to raise the cows right, so that by the time they're slaughtered and they're processed and all that, you'll be able to taste the freshness when you're eating this product. So we're giving consumers a fresh, new taste of beef. Yeah, so there's what you're used to, and then there's Kenbeef.
Have you put some flavors in the like the sausages?
I can't really say flavor. Of course, you have some bit of spices, some bit of it kidogo too. Yeah, but it's not like it's very, very strong or anything. Yeah, it's just what you put in a sausage, in a normal sausage. It's just because now the beef is well sourced. It's ethically sourced. Yes, from happy cows, from Zen cows. Yes, so it's different. I mean, we'll encourage our consumers to go and try and give us their feedback. But I'm very positive that they like the new taste of beef products that we are churning out in the market.
So looking at processing of these products, does that mean then that you've had to have several processing centers set up for this? Or what happens? Is there one central point? Because, I mean, not an assumption, based on what you've said, there are different farmers that you're now sourcing the meat from.
Yes.
Do they all go to processing centers where these are all done, or is there one central location? And then how does that happen? Because we're looking at, quite a number of products here, and that all come from the beef.
Okay. So the farmers, as I mentioned, they're in Laikipia. So that's where the process starts. Of course, we are still very much integrated in the raising of this cattle. But now once they're done with the farm, they come to a processing plant in Thika. So it's the same compound, but it's a different compound it's a different building from chicken. So same compound in Thika, chicken is in its own building, and then beef is in another building. Yeah, so that now it's the same team, the same people who oversee all those processes. However, it's good to separate the same, because there are those guys who take chicken, they don't take beef, so there's no interaction with the same. However, the same quality standards are maintained for beef, just like for chicken. Yes.
You know, when you talk about beef products and you talk about the array of beef products, yes, distinguished, clear. The packaging is different. It's actually very attractive from what I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it's very, very attractive.
Okay.
But what is it? And you've even explained, yes, a bit of a flavor, a bit of this there.
Yeah.
Let me understand flavor. What is it that's going to stop me from buying the sausages I'm used to buying? What is it that's going to stop me from buying the
Boerewors?
No, not
Burger.
Burger. What is going to stop me from buying what I've been buying?
The mince.
Yes, mince.
Yeah.
And why would I buy your mince as opposed to going to my butcher, where he cuts the meat as I see it and minces it as I see it?
So there are two questions there I'm seeing. In terms of other further processed product, other beef products, I was just saying we're giving you a fresh new taste. So there's what you're used to, which might not exactly be bad. It works for you. However, it's always good to try out something different, something fresh. You know, it's a new year, it's a new month. Try something different. It tastes fresh, tastes great. It will actually guarantee whatever taste, flavor, preferences you have, you'll actually find it in Kenbeef.
How competitive is the cost?
The cost is affordable. That's what I'll mention. So when you compare with the current players, it's a bit affordable. Yes.
Compared to
the current players in the market. Yes. Yes. So in case maybe you're used to buying your beef from a certain player and you realize it's a bit high, so ours gives you some bit of cost savings. However, we're not very keen about the cost saving because you're still getting the value and the quality that you expect from.
Let me ask this question because at the back of my mind. This beef, is it good for choma?
Yes. Yes.
Even after it has aged, I can choma it.
Yes, you can choma it, yes.
The best after you've aged.
After it has aged and I choma it, now I've got serious beef choma.
Yes.
For your age.
Yeah. And the beauty about it is standard beef in Kenya, you have like to, choma it very well. No even. Otherwise, you even if you want to eat medium rare, it most probably is going to be very tough meat. So with ours, you can just put it kidogo in case you like your meat a bit red kiasi, a bit pinkish. This is the right meat for you. So you don't need to choma it for a very long while so that it softens with heat. It's already soft, so you can enjoy it just with some slight heating.
Mohammed is asking, are these products halal?
Yes.
Explain.
The products are 100% halal. And when you look at halal from a Muslim perspective is how you slaughter an animal. So you're supposed to use a very sharp knife, and then there's a certain part of the neck you're supposed to slaughter so that the animal doesn't feel any pain. So we have all that. Even if you go to a processing plant, and I'll mention chicken a lot here, a lot of this is automated. However, when it comes to the actual slaughtering, it's being done by Muslims and it's being done in a halal way. But halal for us goes further. Apart from just slaughtering, is how you raise animals. I mean, if you look at life from a religious perspective, man is the prime predator, or you're at the top of the food chain. So just because you're at the top of the food chain, you shouldn't abuse your power. For example, you're just gongaing buzis and chicken. It's not right because they're God's creation. So ours are raised very well, such that by the time they are slaughtering, of course, they wake up in chicken or cow heaven, and that is on your plate. So all that process, we want to ensure that animal welfare standards are maintained throughout the value chain. And that's what is halal to us.
That's a big thing. It's a big thing, and it's an important thing.
It's very important.
It's an important thing. So, sauce right now is Laikipia.
Yes.
Are there plans to talk to farmers elsewhere, to contract farmers?
Okay, I can't really say there are plans right now, but of course maybe in the future there could be that possibility. But Laikipia is one of the areas whereby the environment conditions and all that is very ideal for growing good beef. And of course, when you're working with one set of farmers, it's always good to start with them, and then you may never know what the future might hold. So if our consumers want us to partner with more farmers, they should buy our products. When demand goes up, then definitely there could be discussions about partnering with other farmers in different parts of Kenya. Yes, but I can't say that's the plan right now.
Yeah. I think this is interesting because then in terms of a Kenyan product, a Kenyan flagship product, and also looking at, brand Kenya, for example, then being able to push the product to different outlets. What are plans for that? Because, here's, I think, a unique opportunity for a product that is literally grown, produced, sourced, everything here in Kenya, and then you are able to have, these great products across the board for different kinds of meals, whether it's a snack or it's a full meal. Then there's an opportunity to go far and wide within the country and use it as a Kenyan product that's served here.
Okay.
What would be the thought around something like that?
Are you referring to the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya?
Yeah.
Sort of like mantra? That's something we've been advocating, or we've been practicing for a while, just telling consumers that this is a local product made by local Kenyan farmers or produced by local Kenyan farmers. So we are keen on that. Even in our communication, we always have that made in Kenya or Buy Kenya, Build Kenya logo. We always have it in our product, in our comms, and we always push that, we always discuss that, so that guys know that if you're buying Kenchic, you're actually supporting local farmers, you're supporting the local economy. So anyone who buys Kenbeef should have that pride of, this is, I'm building my country, or I'm building the local economy. Yes.
People then also knew that, because we can't separate the two, whatever we do. So people also knew that Kenchic supported local farmers to start their own poultry.
Yes.
Over time. Okay, so then one would extrapolate and say, would you look at a situation whereby now going Kenbeef, going through to see if cattle farmers then would be able to raise cattle specifically for providing it for Kenbeef?
Yes.
So going into cattle rearing or cattle farming, because I know at the end of the day you will take this beef and you will use it for the product that you now put on the shelf.
So the process has already started. We are working with local farmers in Laikipia. It could be a bit small scale for now because the brand is still new.
Yes.
However, that process has already started. Yeah. So even now, the beef you'll consume today, it was raised in Laikipia. Yeah. So, but you may never know what the future holds. I can't really speak much about the business, but I know for sure supporting local farmers, actually sustainability, not just even local farmers, being a sustainably raised business is a great purpose for us. In fact, we even changed our mission statement, which is to sort of like support ethical, sustainable food production. So that's something that is very keen for us. For those who have been even following Kenchic, they realize that as much as we are a very consumer-led business, we're also keen about sustainability. Like now, for example, in January, we partnered with Chloride Exide to have solar grid tie in our processing plant and also in our hatchery. So small things that we're doing, or some which are coming in a bigger way, is for us to be more sustainable and have a bigger impact. So it's not about how much chicken, how much beef we'll be able to sell, which is still important, but how many people we impact, whether it's farmers, consumers, our own staff, including myself. So we are very, very keen on making that impact, and that's the future of Kenchic.
When you say 40 years into the business, what would you say is your market share when it comes to the products that Kenchic is now offering?
Okay, I'll not really give a number, but I know we are still the market leader when it comes to branded chicken. Okay. Yes, so we've maintained that leadership over the years. Of course, there are local farmers which are coming up, and it's always good to have a vibrant marketplace, but actually you'll be shocked or you'll be surprised to find that these farmers actually buy our day-old chicks. So Kenchic is in two ways. There's the processed chicken or the foods where we've been talking about. Then there's also the day-old chicks. And with the day-old chicks business, it's not just vifaranga. There's a lot also that is being done by the business in terms of educating the farmers, telling them this is the right size of the house for this number of chicks, this is the right food, this is the right water. So we do all that. So it's not about us selling chicken, but also how much impact or how much development with the poultry industry get to because of some of the efforts and the initiatives that we are doing. However, when it comes to branded chicken, we've maintained a very strong market leadership position, which is good, and our consumers know that. Yes.
Why I asked the question is the Kenyan market adequate, or does Kenchic also venture into the region?
So Kenchic is part of a bigger group called Africa Poultry Development Limited, and there's Kenchic Kenya, Kenchic Uganda, then there's Interchic in Tanzania, and then there's another company in Zambia. So we're not just in Kenya, we are everywhere, but also the Kenchic in Kenya, we supply to different markets as well, like Rwanda and Congo. So it's growing out of Kenya. It's no longer just a local brand. I mean, it's very much locally managed and all that, but we're actually now growing and venturing into different countries. Yes.
You've answered the next question I was going to ask.
Okay.
So I will not ask it.
Okay. If I saw that one. Yeah. So we have Kenchic is quite broad. Yes.
And in terms of like supporting, like you said, thinking of how you're supporting local farmers, you're supporting people, jobs directly and indirectly. This new line, Kenbeef by Kenchic.
Yes.
Obviously, it has come with a lot of investment in the entire chain. Are you able to quantify and like put figures or numbers? How many new people have been employed as a result of Kenbeef by Kenchic?
I can't really quantify right now because a lot of it is being done at different level of business, and there's a lot of conversations going on in there. But let me just start even from our own sales team. There's been a new recruitment. Even if you go to our social media pages, the last few weeks we've actually recruited more people in the sales team just to be able to support this product. But now there's a whole bigger impact than just hiring a few people. It's those farmers that are guaranteed this is where the beef is going to, is the people who are in the slaughtering industry, is the different chains that are actually making a profit from reselling this product. So when there was Kenchic before, now there's Kenbeef, of course there's a bigger profitability for them. Yeah, so the impact is wider, and as time goes, as consumers buy more of a product, they'll be able to actually see and quantify the impact at a larger scale. Yes.
In terms of professionals employed at Kenchic, I'm just looking at meat, and meat is something that people are very, very conscious about.
Yes.
Safety and just making sure that they're getting quality. So what kind of professionals are employed here to ensure this? You have health professionals, you have veterinary doctors.
Yes.
Right? So how do they work from the farmer end to ensure that these cattle are being raised properly to the slaughterhouses to ensure that the proper handling and slaughtering is happening, all the way to the market to ensure that the butchers and the butcheries are maintaining the standard?
Okay, good question. So we have experts in different fields, as you mentioned, the veterinary medicine, animal husbandry, food production, slaughtering. So we are in partnership with the farmers. We oversee all that, all the way from when the calves are born. We oversee what they're feeding, how their condition is, their health status. So there's a team already that is already working with this farmer. So as much as actually our head office is just here at Enterprise Road, as much as that's where the head office is, the larger, more technical team is actually on the ground with the farmers, with the different products or the different animals that we actually want to slaughter. So they oversee that process. Even when it comes to the slaughtering process, the experts from the government, experts from the different non-governmental organizations, just to oversee food production. Because if you're doing food production from a massive scale, of course, there has to be those checks and balances just to ensure that consumers are getting what they're supposed to get. So they're guaranteed of that quality because of the extra care and concern that is being taken over by the different experts from Kenchic to government and to other NGOs. Yeah, kizungu nyingi kidogo.
People are asking various questions there. Some of them are funny. When will we see Ken fish? Ken goat? Ken park?
So before we used to be, our vision used to be there to be the chicken of choice, but now we're the food partner of choice. So that means we're not limiting ourselves to chicken and beef. You may never know. I mean, right now beef is the next, or is the big thing that we've done. However, they need to be on the lookout for other products and offering coming from us. Yes.
Somebody who would like, a retailer, who would like to stock Kenbeef products, what do they require?
Maybe they could just share their contacts with us on our social media pages, and then someone from our plant will be in touch with them, or from the sales team, just to see their capabilities, see where they are, and then that conversation will continue from there.
Okay, what are the minimum requirements? For example, do I need a chiller? Do I need a fridge, a freezer?
So for now, of course, you'll need to have, because the products have to be sold fresh or frozen, so you need to have either a chiller or a freezer, some bit of space. And of course, by the time you're being a retailer, you need to know your market. I mean, you can't open a shop and you know for sure there are no customers coming. So it needs to be in a place where the market is. And the beauty about that is we are very, very keen on brand building. So advertising and all that brand awareness, we're doing wet testing at the moment in weekends. So already we're doing that aspect from a marketing perspective. So when you're opening up your shop, regardless on what you're going to sell, you need to know for sure that there are customers who are going to visit your shop. But having a chiller, having a freezer, being a licensed business, being a tax-paying business are one of those things we look forward to, yes, because, we need taxes.
What do you see as a challenge right now to be able to push this into the market today? What do you see as a challenge? Sometimes we say that embracing the challenge then makes it easier to go through. What is going to be difficult?
Okay. So what's going to be a challenge, and it's not really a big challenge, is most consumers are used to one taste of beef. So you'll find they're used to buying from a certain player. So, and not everyone is willing, not everyone is open to try new things, but to encourage them, just try. You'll definitely like the product and you'll come back. So that's one of the challenges. The other challenge is, as we've discussed here, there are a lot of questions. Where is this beef coming from? Who's supplying this beef? Who's growing this cattle? So in part of our marketing and communication plan is just also now to demystify that process, just like we did with chicken, just to assure and guarantee our consumers that the same quality that you've been getting from us for the last 40 years is the same quality you're getting from Kenbeef. So there's that aspect of the taste, and then also being assured that what you're buying is actually good for you.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So what are those communication lines? Somebody who would like maybe to get in touch with Kenbeef to have conversations about stocking, or somebody who maybe would have a complaint.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can, the easiest way is for them to follow our social media pages and then to DM or inbox us, or they could write an email to us, info@kenchic.com or marketing@kenchic.com, in case you have a commercially leaning question, or you can call us on 0703 056 056.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there chances of you diversifying further from this processed meat? So, for example, can I get Kenbeef Matumbo?
Okay.
Kenbeef Mutura, and those other products?
For now, I can say the future is open. Yes, the future is open. I mean, there's that excitement even for myself just to launch or to go into different ventures, but of course it has to be done in the right way, making sure there's that support system, there's the right infrastructure for us to launch. And right now we are on Kenbeef. So Kenbeef is our newest baby, but of course in future I can't really say this is where we're going to head to, but I know for sure the future is exciting. Yeah, so Kenchic will be this innovative diversified company that's no longer just a chicken company. We're still chicken in our core. However, there's a lot more we're churning out to the market.
So in the meantime, Arnold, hizo matumbo zikitoka kwa hiyo ng'ombe zinaenda, tunaweza
unaona tutaongea kando, because as easy
ng'ombe imechinjwa na matumbo haikui packed hapa. Sasa matumbo inaenda na kichwa na ulimi, hooves na masikio na hooves.
Hapo nyuma ya tent. Tuongee nyuma ya tent.
Conversation nyuma ya tent.
Yeah, nyuma ya tent. Yeah.
All right. So again, just to recap this conversation, Kenchic has decided to listen to the market. And the market says, we like what you've been giving us so far. We want something new.
Okay.
And Kenchic has decided, let's go Kenbeef. Okay? So again, tell people who have just tuned in, what is Kenbeef? In a minute.
Okay, so Kenbeef by Kenchic is the latest offering, the latest baby of Kenchic, and we have partnered with local farmers in Mount Kenya in Laikipia, to grow the cattle on grass-fed diet. Thus you ensure that your cows are growing very healthy, they're walking freely, they can walk around, they are very peaceful. And then when they're slaughtered, there's two sides of the brand. There's the prime beef, which is wet aged for 21 days to give you the versatility, the taste, the flavor that you expect from your beef. And then there's a further processed product, the sausages, the burger, the burritos and all that. And the proof is in the pudding. So please go buy, try the product, and you'll be happy with what you've bought.
Asante sana. Yes. They've got beef. Wanasema tuko na beef.
Tuko na beef.
Kenbeef.
Yes.
Choice ni moja. Taste
ni noma.
That is Arnold Mwagodi, the brand manager at Kenchic, now introducing Kenbeef by Kenchic. Go to any retail store and look for the Kenbeef by Kenchic. You'll find it. The logo is clearly written Kenbeef by Kenchic. It has a ngombe there. It is written Mfalme. And then you can see whether it's a burger, whether it's a chicken, whether it's a burbo.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.